Welcome to another Love Not Fear tool video where we talk about tools, best practices, and frameworks that can help you to build a high-performance team that does their job out of love and not out of fear. And today I want to talk about one-on-one meetings, which I personally believe are absolutely essential to have a high-performance team because it allows you to understand what the issues and pain points are that your direct report is dealing with and helps you to solve them for them or together with them. So I hope you've been doing one-on-ones on a regular basis. I personally like to do them every week or every other week. And at a fixed time, if it's remote, cameras on. Actually, I always like cameras on. I think it's just a respect thing. And also it allows you to read more what's going on with the person. And if you do them in person, it doesn't have to be necessarily in the office. You can also go have a coffee somewhere or go on a walk. It's often easier to excavate what's going on with the person that you imagine. And we have this little framework that I've been using, and it's very simple. You just ask 3 questions in the beginning, then you look at the projects that you're currently working on, and then you have a topic section where you go on to drill into these topics, basically the things you want to solve. And the 3 questions I like to start with is, the first one is, what is going great right now? Because this gives the person the opportunity to boast and to show off what they have accomplished and got done since we talked last. The second question I like to ask is, what is draining you right now? Because if you ask somebody what problems do you currently have, they often do not have it top of mind. But if you ask what's draining you, it allows you to excavate what's really going on. And this doesn't have to be only work related. I think if you have a good relationship with the person that you work with, they'll also open up about private things, and it allows you to understand them better and to maybe help them in other ways, shape or form as well. The third question I like to ask is, how would you rate your performance from 0 to 10 since we talked last? And I think that's a really powerful question because it allows you to give feedback on a regular basis, and feedback doesn't become something that is so dreaded, and also you can kind of like coach people in the moment, because like annual reviews or 6-month reviews, I don't think they really work. I personally also I really struggle with this because I have a hard time to remember what I ate yesterday. So it's much better if I ask this question from 0 to 10, how would you rate your performance? And the person can say like, hey, I think I'm an 8 because of XYZ. It allows me to counter with like, hey, no, actually, I think you've been a 5 or a 3 because of blah, blah, blah. And then we can have like a discussion about this. And then we can kind of come to a conclusion, how would you rate the performance? And doing this in a document, I really want to strongly suggest that you have like a working document that you kind of always update. Just copy paste what you had this week above, delete the items that are done, and then kind of do it over and over again. But doing this every week or every other week, you can actually see how the performance actually was when you look back throughout the year. If this is a factor in your annual review discussion of if people get a raise or not, I think it's a really handy thing. I think that's mainly it, right? You ask these 3 questions. Afterwards, you go through the projects that you're currently working on. If everything's good, then you can skip it. If there's some issues, you put it to the section where you have your topics. And just rinse and repeat and do this over and over again. I also love having this document because maybe sometimes something comes up that I want to give somebody feedback on, but if it's not super urgent, then I will not bother them while they're working on whatever else. I just write it down in our one-on-one document, and then when we have a meeting, I can bring it up, so I'm not derailing people with something that's not super urgent. I think that's mainly it that I want to share with you on how to run one-on-ones. Of course, a lot more, but I think this is the essence of running a good one-on-one. I really believe that running good one-on-one meetings is an absolutely essential component of having a high-performance team. If this was valuable for you, I'd really appreciate if you could hit the subscribe button. It helps us to spread the love more and also share the video with somebody who could benefit from it. Much love. See you in the next video.